Did you ever imagine that bodybuilding would lead to acting? I mean, did you really have that game plan in mind?
You know, my dream was for me to make this a ticket into movies, and number two, to lift and elevate the whole bodybuilding sport, and both of them have been very successful. And when movies like Conan the Barbarian came out, and then The Terminator, and so on, my career took off, and all of a sudden,
Your
this
career took
bodybuilder
off.
that was not supposed to ever become a leading man, all of a sudden became a leading man.
It is the most brilliant movie career when you think about it, because I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger, everyone said, especially after Hercules comes to New York, this guy is never going to make it. You were Arnold Strong. They dubbed your voice. That was, you know, that's legendary. And when you look at the list of movies that you've done, it is unbelievable. The amount of box office gross and how great these movies are and still are franchises.
Well, thank you.
You know, really is amazing. And you talk about Conan. So when they cast you in Conan the Barbarian, I feel that was the breakthrough for you. Were you shocked when they offered you that part?
I was not shocked. I remember I was shocked when they asked me to do Hercules in New York.
Right.
Because at that point I had no plan yet to be in acting. I was working my way up in bodybuilding, and I said to myself, I have to go to acting class. I have to really work on my accent. I have to really learn the language and all this. I was not ready at all.
When you
all
came to America, you didn't know English, did you?
No. I mean, I knew a little school English, you know, whatever you learn in school, but I could not really understand the news. I couldn't read the newspaper. I had people talk to me very slowly and in very simple terms so I could understand. So I was on my beginning stage, and then all of a sudden someone called the gym, and he said, you know, we want to talk to Schwarzenegger about Hercules in New York. And then Joe Weider called me.
Joe was your mentor.
My mentor, and brought me to the United States. And he said, Arnold, they're casting Hercules. And I just told him that they should have to hire you. You're the big new bodybuilding champion. You're 22 years old. They should get you. This is the best thing. And then I went to an interview with him, and they gave me the part. I didn't even have to read.
Wow.
I never even talked.
They
Joe
just
Weider
looked
said,
at you.
shut up and don't talk. He says, I do the talking. You just sit there and keep your chest out and look proud and look strong. And so he was telling them that I'm a German Shakespearean actor. And there is no such a thing. I mean, what the hell is he talking about?
Were you insulted when the movie came out and they dubbed your voice in, or you didn't care?
No. Look, I was like so... because you said, were you amazed about being hired as Conan? In this case, I was so amazed that I got just off the boat, and all
And
the
now you're in
stuff
the
that you
movies.
read about Hollywood and about America became true. I said, this is incredible. I must be dreaming. This is wild. So I didn't care what they did. And if they only left me in the movie for 3 minutes, I was in heaven to just be part of it.
You're so right. Think about that, how crazy that is. You got off the boat, and now you're in the movie.
It's
So
like,
hey, I wanna be-
it's unbelievable. Only in America,
Right.
I tell you.
It is so
nowhere
charming,
else.
that story.
It's like, it was wild. So when I then was hired to do Conan,
Which was 15 years later.
1977. Yeah, 15 years later. But it was actually in 1977, after Pumping Iron came out. Ed Pressman, who is a famous producer, he came to me and he says, I'm going to buy the Conan rights. And so they hired me to do a whole series of Conan movies. And so, of course, this was like the first time where I was now with a studio, with Universal Studio, with one of the biggest producers, Dino De Laurentiis, with one of the classiest producers, Ed Pressman. So I was in.
Were you nervous when you went on the set of Conan the Barbarian? You always seem like such a confident guy, but I would think back then.
I was wondering, did he take acting lessons?
Oh, yeah. I mean, by that time, I have taken so many acting lessons and voice lessons and speech lessons and accent removal lessons.
You really worked at it.
That guy should give me my money back, by the way.
yeah, waiting for that accent to disappear. It isn't necessarily that you were gifted physically. It was the hard work.
You're absolutely right. The work itself and the belief in yourself is the most important thing, because from the time you set the big goal, you will have the naysayers say, this is stupid, you will never make it, this is ridiculous, come on, I mean, no one has ever done this. But they totally forget that you can break new grounds and you can do things that no one else has ever done before, and I was determined to do that.